From the epic of Sundiata, the Buffalo Woman. Magan Khan Fata, the father of Sundiata, was renowned for his beauty in every land, but he was also a good king, loved by all the people. In his capital of Nubia, he loved to sit often at the foot of the great silk cotton tree, which dominated his palace of Kanko. Magan Khan Fata had been reigning a long time, and his eldest son, Dakaran Tuman, was already 8 years old and often came to sit on the ox hide beside his father. Well, now, one day when the king had taken up his usual position under the silk cotton tree surrounded by his kinsmen, he saw a man dressed like a hunter coming towards him. He wore the tight-fitting trousers of the favorites of Condolan Nisane, and his blouse oversewn with cowries showed that he was a master of the hunting art. All present turned towards the unknown man whose bow, polished with frequent usage, shone in the sun. The man walked up in front of the king, whom he recognized in the midst of his courtiers. He bowed and said, "I salute you, King of Mali. Greetings, all you of Mali. I am a hunter chasing game and come from Sangaran. A fearless doe has guided me to the walls of Nianiba. By the grace of my master, the great Simbon, my arrows have hit her, and now she lies not far from your walls. As is fitting, O king, I have come to bring you your portion." He took a leg from his leather sack, whereupon the king's griot, Nakuman Dawa, seized upon the leg and said, "Stranger, whoever you may be, you will be the king's guest, because you respect custom. Come and take your place on the mat beside us. The king is pleased because he loves righteous men." The king nodded his approval, and all the courtiers agreed. The griot continued in a more familiar tone. "O you who come from Sangaran, land of the favorites of Condolan Nisane, you who have doubtless had an expert master, will you open your pouch of knowledge for us and instruct us with your conversation, for you have no doubt visited several lands." The king, still silent, gave a nod of approval, and a courtier added, "The hunters of Sangaran are the best soothsayers. If the stranger wishes, we could learn a lot from him." The hunter came and sat down near Nankaum Dawa, who vacated one end of the mat for him. Then he said, "Griot of the king, I am not one of these hunters whose tongues are more dexterous than their arms. I am no spinner of adventure yarns, nor do I like playing upon the credulity of worthy folk. But, thanks to the lore which my master has imparted to me, I can boast of being a seer among seers." He took out of his hunter's bag 12 cowries, which he threw on the mat. The king and all his entourage now turned toward the stranger, who was jumbling up the 12 shiny shells with his bare hand. Now Kawam Dawa discreetly brought to the king's notice that the soothsayer was left-handed. The left hand is the hand of evil, but in the divining art it is said that left-handed people are the best. The hunter muttered some incomprehensible words in a low voice, while he shuffled and jumbled the 12 cowries into different positions, which he mused on at length. All of a sudden, he looked up at the king and said, "O king, the world is full of mystery. All is hidden, and we know nothing but what we can see. The silk cotton tree springs from a tiny seed. That which defies the tempest weighs in its germ no more than a grain of rice. Kingdoms are like trees. Some will be silk cotton trees. Others will remain dwarf palms, and the powerful silk cotton tree will cover them with its shade. Oh, who can recognize in the little child the great king to come? The great comes from the small. Truth and falsehood have both suckled at the same breast. Nothing is certain, but, sire, I can see 2 strangers over there coming towards your city." He fell silent and looked in the direction of the city gates for a short while. All present silently turned towards the gates. The soothsayer returned to his cowries. He shook them in his palm with a skilled hand and then threw them out. King of Mali, destiny marches with great strides. Mali is about to emerge from the night. Nineveh is lighting up, but what is this light that comes from the east? Hunter, said Nakalm Dawa, your words are obscure. Make your speech comprehensible to us. Speak in the clear language of your savannah. I am coming to that now, Griot. Listen to my message. Listen, sire. You have ruled over the kingdom which your ancestors bequeathed to you, and you have no other ambition but to pass on this realm, intact if not increased, to your descendants. But, fine king, your successor is not yet born. I see 2 hunters coming to your city. They have come from afar, and a woman accompanies them. Oh, that woman! She is ugly. She is hideous. She bears on her back a disfiguring hump. Her monstrous eyes seem to have been merely laid on her face. But mystery of mysteries, this is the woman you must marry, sire, for she will become the mother of him who will make the name of Mali immortal forever. The child will be the 7th star, the 7th conqueror of the earth. He will be more mighty than Alexander. But, O king, for destiny to lead this woman to you, a sacrifice is necessary. You must offer up a red bull, for the bull is powerful. When its blood soaks into the ground, nothing more will hinder the arrival of your wife. There, I have said what I had to say, but everything is in the hands of the Almighty. The hunter picked up his cowries and put them away in his bag. I am only passing through, King of Mali, and now I return to Singar. Farewell. The hunter disappeared, but neither the king, Nare Magan, nor his griot, Nakaum Dawa, forgot his prophetic words. Soothsayers see far ahead. Their words are not always for the immediate present. Man is in a hurry, but time is tardy, and everything has its season. After some time, the old man's prophecy came to pass. One day, 2 hunters came from the land of Du to present to the king a young girl who, though she was shrouded in traveling clothes, was apparently a hunchback. They related to the king and his court how the king of Du Mansa Ganama Darara had promised to reward anyone who killed an astounding buffalo that had been destroying the fields in the area. Having set out themselves to find the buffalo, the 2 hunters had befriended an old woman who confessed that she was the buffalo of Du. She told them how to capture and kill it on the promise that when offered the reward of a beautiful young maiden, they chose an ugly girl who would be seated in the crowd. Events transpired as the old woman who had predicted, and the hunters were laughed out of town when they chose the ugly girl, Sagalon Kajau. Unable to possess her, the hunters only later thought to present her to the king of Mali. Recognizing the fulfillment of what the old man had foretold, Nare Magan married Sagalan.